All right, hey guys. So yeah, we're here for the Coastal Highway IL strats. So this video is probably going to be a longer video
Like to hang back.
because
Let us clear a
the
path.
strats for this
Agreed.
level,
I'll stay with
it's basically the entire level is like different from the full path or the full game route. So right off the beginning, you want to make sure you don't throw any nades throughout this part here. You either take the normal path and grab the rocket, or you can come this way. I like to come this way. Obviously, it's faster, but then also you kind of run past all the brutes, so you don't even have to. Like full path wise, you would usually want to throw nades to make them dodge. This way, you kind of beat them. So now there is a warp. So right as you pass this car, you want to turn around and start looking kind of where your allies are. And then right about here, you can actually turn back and you'll warp the engineer ahead. Now, there is a small chance that one of your allies is throwing a nade and it's gonna blow the engineer like very high into the sky and it'll soft lock the game, so be aware of that. But that is how you warp the engineer here. It'll save a few seconds. So, now how we do this is we get into the hog, and we're going to drive straight to the end. This is the path I like to take. Drive straight to the end of the highway. Get out, we can pick up one health kit, but now we gotta kill all these grunts. So there's gonna be a lot of nades being thrown at you. You start to learn how to clear this more effectively. But yeah, we got a pistol headshot all these grunts here. Including these guys that kind of stand in the back, because eventually they will walk up to us while we're doing the launch. And if they do that, we're gonna blow our hogs around and it's not gonna work. So all the grunts are dead, and because of the catch skull, they all drop plasma nades. You want to make sure you have all 3 plasma nades, or I guess you only need 2, but still, just make sure, I guess you picked up 3. And then you want to come here, drop your drop your human pistol for these rockets, if you didn't pick up the ones before. And now we're going to start setting up these hogs for the launches. So I like to get into this hog, and kind of like reverse it to get out of the way of the explosions. But you also have your teammate get out of this hog, which is important because if your teammate is in this hog, like when you try to do the lineup, he may mess with it. Anyways, though, so how I set up this hog is, so where this line is, like it's a darker line. So not the one with the health pack where it's like really close to this truck. This line here, you want to kind of have your left wheels lined up with it, and you want to position the wheels sort of at the top of this little incline here. So right how I have it parked right now is how you want this hog set up. And I'm just gonna actually get back into this hog to get my teammate to come over here.
I got shotgun. Called it.
So now you want to have your plasmas out, and where you want to be standing is behind this darker line. You want to be standing a little bit behind it, so about here, and then you want to aim straight up at the sky, and then just throw one plasma nade, and then you want to where this line sort of is, so that's where you want the plasma to land, like directly behind the hog. And then right where this line is here is where you want to shoot the rocket as the plasma explodes. Oh, I shot too late there. Let me do it again. You have to shoot before the plasma actually explodes, though. Otherwise, as you saw, the rocket gets redirected. And then right when the hog starts to get launched, you want to take out your SMG and actually shoot it because the momentum of your bullets like hitting the hog will actually push it farther. And essentially, where you want this hog to be, you want it wheels up ideally. It could go over this structure, which is fine. But right here is sort of where the soft barrier cap is, like where you want to push this hog past. The it may actually be like more over here or something like that that you want it past. But generally, like I'm kind of thinking like if it lands past these, like the whole hog is past this sort of line, then you're in the clear. Um, if you do this launch and the hog gets kind of stuck in between here, because sometimes it can fall into this crevice or that crevice, or it lands on the top, like not on the wheels, and it starts to slide down the hill. You can use your second rocket, because you no longer need rockets at this point, to actually push it again, like further up the hill. So, just as an example, like let's say this hog is sliding down, I'll shoot it right below where it's sliding, and then you could push it up and start SMGing it again. But this is good, like how it landed here. So that's the first hog down. That's perfect. And then I'm going to set up the second hog here. So once again, using this the same black line we used for the previous hog, the way that I like to set this up, and once again, I believe I'm on 79 FOV. Yeah, I'm on 79 FOV. So this is how I line it up. If you're using a different FOV, you want to line it up differently. But you want to bring your hog once again, left wheel sort of behind or beside this line. And then so the back of the hog, right, where this UNSC sign is, like whatever that crossbar is, you want to move your camera so that it's like just covering that crossbar, right? So kind of like this. And then you want to drive your hog up and then see these like black grill kind of marks at the bottom of the like slope here. You want to drive your hog so that the front bumper is like covering half of it basically. So this is like where I would want the hog. So, and using my same FOV, if you have everything lined up like this should be fine. I'll show you kind of how it looks position-wise outside of the hog as well. So it's a little bit farther back from the actual lip, but in the hog that's how I set it up with the FOV. So now you want to make sure you have a nade out as well as your SMG. So you want a nade and an SMG out now, and then we're going to cross over here to load the next section, and then come back. So right here, there's like this little piece of newspaper or whatever. I'm not exactly sure how to describe, but yeah, I guess the first piece of newspaper here is what you kind of want to line up with about. So this piece of newspaper and this line here, you want to stand like basically have your left foot halfway between them basically. So something like this, and then you want to look directly up. You want to jump, throw a nade, switch to a plasma, throw a plasma, and then move towards the side of the hog, throw another plasma, and then get in. So I'm going to show the whole sequence here. So jump, nade, spamming plasma, and then coming about there and throwing another plasma. And this would have worked. Like, this is perfect. I did the out of bounds. Actually, I'm just going to make a checkpoint here, just so I can come back to it. And let's see if I can double revert here, just so I can show it again. But yeah, that was first try. Like, using this lineup, it is pretty consistent. However, it is still like randomish with the hog launch. Like these first two nades, and with the FOV setup that we did, this first part is like pretty much set up perfectly. Besides like the jump, I guess, is like a small variation of error that can happen. But as long as you throw the nade when you're at the peak of your jump, all this stuff is set up pretty exact, I guess, you want to say. It's mainly this third frag that you throw is where a lot of the variation would come from. So when you throw all the nades, or the first two nades, you want to kind of path towards the driver's side, but you want to be looking and kind of like, it's hard for me to describe exactly because there's no exact lineup for this third nade, but essentially how I throw it is when I'm about at this point, like, so I guess like a 45-degree, like, so there's the driver that's, 0 degree. I'm at kind of like a 45-degree from the driver's side door. I look about the center of this sort of box here, and then throw one plasma. So it lands about at that spot. So that is the best sort of description I could give of that. I'll try to do the launch again. So messed up the timing a little bit there. You also have to like kind of wait a second. Or actually the way, yeah, I forgot. So you kind of wait until the nade bounces, or like you get a feeling of like a moment before it's gonna bounce, and then that's when you throw the plasma.
Heads up, rookie.
So I haven't done this IL for a little bit, so I'm definitely a little bit rustier than I usually, or when I was grinding the IL, I was at doing this launch. But if you use that general setup, it is decently consistent, as consistent as you can really make this trick. So that's how you do the two launches and how I do all the setups and everything like that. I will also just go through the whole level because also the end fight is different than you would do in like easy or ledge or anything like that. So yeah, let me just hop back over here. So once you actually get the hog here, and then the other hog is past the barrier. So here there's like a soft barrier that when you're driving up, it kind of stops your hog. Basically, you just want to drive as far forward as you can, and then just get out of your hog, and now you're through the barrier. And then there is this other hog here that you can get in and start to drive. So this entire section here, there basically, as the highway normally is, there's several doors that you have to cross and stuff like that. So each door has like a load that you need to hit. We only do like half of this because we want to actually get into the tank, so we don't go all the way to the end fight out of bounds. And this whole part is the same as it would be on any other difficulty. Well, I'll just go through it for the sake of this video. So you want to take your hog and drive over here. Or you kind of just follow, see how there's like this black sort of thing, I don't know what to call it, but wall, I guess, or whatever. You just drive around it, and then whenever you see these sort of structures here, this is like where a door is. So for this first door, you can just drive along the side and then just straight through the middle of it, and that will hit the load here. You just hop back up, and then we drive over to the next one. Some of these doors you have to do fairly quickly, otherwise like your Oliphant might die. So I'm going to be doing the tutorial, but normally you want to do this all fairly quickly, right? So what you want to do for this one is you actually want to park on the side here. So I was talking, so I kind of messed that up. So yeah, for this door, what you want to do is you want to come here. You want to kind of park your hog a little bit. So also, I guess, important so that you know, because I guess I haven't been describing it because it's just, I understand it at this point. If you drive into the center of these doors without properly hitting the loads that you need to hit, you will teleport inbounds, and then that's pretty much your run is like done. Like, if I teleported inbounds here, I have no hog or anything like that. I'm basically screwed. So yeah, you kind of want to be careful about obviously driving inbounds. So just so that you do know that. So yeah, anyways, for this door, the second door. So the first door, we just drove straight through the middle. The second door, you actually want to park and then jump over onto this structure. There's, as far as I know, there's not like really any specific part that you need to jump on. Like you could jump over here or over here. I know for sure, like it'll hit the trigger. I'm not sure about back here or anything. So just as long as you jump over like this side, you'll hit the trigger here. And then you want to jump back over. If you do get out of your hog and you slide down here, it's no big deal. You can just run back up here. But yeah, so once you do that, and like I said, some of these doors we have to do pretty quickly. So I'm going to actually do it normally here. So park, jump over, hit the load, and then get back in our hog. And then we want to drive through the middle again here. So that is door number 2. So for door number 3, what I like to do is I like to kind of park my hog so that the wheels kind of nestle into this little crevice here. And I'll just do it again. So like this, and then you get out, and then where this black sort of or darker texture is, so the line before it. So this one here is what you want to look at. So you want to come here and then just walk at it. You'll slide a little bit, that's fine. You jump back up and then you get into the hog. So the actual load trigger is this line here. So that's what you want to hit. And then you want to get back in your hog. And then you want to just reverse and then come back through the middle here. Then now we're on to door 4. I almost drove back in bounds there, but I saved it. So for door 4, you just drive through the middle as well. Door 5, we are also driving through the middle. And then door 6, we're driving back inbounds. During this driving section, like you want to go as fast as possible, but even if you're going as fast as possible, there is a small chance that she will die. Just so that you're aware. It's just random, unfortunately. But where this scarab is where we want to drive back inbound. So you just drive into that dark section there, and now we're where the scorpion tank is. We skipped, pretty much all the hard parts of the highway. So we want to get into the scorpion. If Buck is here, you want to have him get in the turret. Sometimes he doesn't spawn in this area, which is fine, whatever. But if he is here, just get him into the turret. So now we kind of go through the highway pretty much normally, as we would until the final fight section. What you can do, though, is now come over here and just kill this guy early, compared to like the full game path. So you just kind of chill here. It's not going to shoot any wraith shots at you, and you just pepper it down until you do kill it.
Wraith is out of commission. That's it. Keep her steady.
So on the IL strat, because we don't have a plasma pistol, if you kill some of these grunts and they do drop a plasma pistol, you can get out of the tank and grab it. This guy had one, but I don't know, it got exploded and went somewhere else. Or, oh, it's right there. But anyways, I'd be too late at this point. So it's no big deal, we just grab a health kit. And then we do these sections as normal. There's a couple other times that we can potentially grab a plasma pistol, so it's no big deal.
Assault carrier. 10 o'clock high. At the size of that thing.
Also, a nice thing about that lineup for getting the hogs out of bounds, that would also work for skull percent if you're ever interested in doing skull percent. So yeah, it's a nice thing there.
Anyone still see movement?
I don't think I took any damage, but I'll just, oh, apparently I did, so grab a health kit. So now there are 2 shade turrets. You know, these grunts, they could just have 2 needlers. But if they do have a plasma rifle, you have a lot of time during this door to just get out, grab it, and get back in your tank. So this guy does have a plasma pistol, which is nice. Just gonna let the air drive past and then we'll go grab it. So just switch out the rocket for the plasma pistol. I guess it doesn't matter, rocket or SMG, it really doesn't matter, but switch one of them out for the plasma pistol there. So for this door, I touched on this in the full game as well. You can either kill all these enemies or drive past, but if you're going for the IL time, you're going to want to drive past all these guys. So you just want to kill as many grunts as possible, and just follow the Oliphant here. If one of these brutes decides to throw a drain, you're pretty much dead. There's almost nothing you can do. However, nades and stuff like that aren't too big of a deal. Like if a spike grenade lands on your tank, you're not gonna die. The main thing to worry about is this chieftain with the fuel rod, but he usually always paths to that same spot he just ran to. So you can just wait till he passes there and then shoot him a couple of times to...
Get airborne. Fly the Phantom to my beacon.
Got hit a few times, but that's alright.
Whatever you do,
you know, it is a little risky just driving past all those guys, but that's sort of the pathing that you want to take. And then now this is where things diverge. So we need this hog here. So what I like to do is I like to kind of shoot it with the tank. If you shoot it directly, it will blow up, so you have to do like splash damage to move it. But what you want to do is just have it wheels up and perpendicular to the highway so that we can push it in the tank.
This one's onto us.
and you gotta drive a little fast at the hog, otherwise like it kind of doesn't get pushed correctly. So we want to push the hog with the tank. You could also just come back to grab the hog, like drive the scorpion into the door trigger and then come back for the hog, but obviously that wastes time. So ideally we want to push the hog and then we're going to be in the load trigger right when it loads here with both the scorpion and the hog. And we just want to keep pushing the hog. There's like this civilian car with me for some reason. That doesn't usually happen, but whatever. Just keep pushing the hog in. So we're gonna go down the down ramp with the scorpion and the hog.
Out of the vehicle, trooper. Let's go.
And now, once we've pushed the hog in, we're going to come to get this other civilian vehicle here. So the lineup that I kind of do is I push my tank all the way up against this side wall, go forward, and then rotate around here. We don't want to touch the car at all right now. And then you want to come behind the car and push it. And then you kind of want to sort of fling it. So like it's sort of already lined up for you. I don't know how to like you know, describe that kind of accurately or exactly through words, but if you just copy exactly how I kind of pushed it, it is a pretty consistent way to just be able to push the car in like one smooth motion, exactly how you want it, because you want the hood sort of facing like away from this barrier like this. Now you're going to use the tank as a, or sorry, the civilian vehicle as a ramp. Have the tank over here. You can also just kind of melee this car if you need to sort of straighten it out a little bit. So the straighter the better, and also if the tank, the middle part of the tank is lined up with the car, the better. At least for this trick. There's no time frame here really, but faster you do it the better obviously. So then you just want to take the hog, use the car as a ramp, and then try to push the tank. It's a little finicky with this car. Essentially, you want to get your front wheels of the hog up this thing, and then keep your back wheels on. And like basically, if like let's say you end up falling off this car and your back wheels are straight on the ground and your front wheels are up here, the back wheels aren't going to be getting any traction to actually push forward. So you have to make sure your back wheels stay on this car. Otherwise, it's not going to work. It's finicky, but you'll understand what I'm saying when you actually practice this. So you kind of want to take it a little slow and then kind of get on top. But you have to go at like a pretty exactish speed to like do this consistently, like this. See how my wheels were still up on that car? And then once you push the tank like pretty much inbounds like this should work. If it doesn't, then I can just try again. It's no big deal. Then we should be in like this. If you didn't do it correctly, your tank will get kind of pushed back into the barrier, and then you can try again as long as you didn't mess up your hog or push it inbounds like this. But yeah, essentially that's how you do it. Once the tank is inbounds now, what I like to do is come over here and park the tank kind of out of the way. And now I'm going to switch my SMG for one of the carbines there. Come over and kill the two sleeping grunts.
Area secure.
So if one of these grunts have a plasma pistol, just refresh it for the better plasma pistol.
Mickey, what's your ETA?
It's also, if they do have other plasma pistols, like know where you dropped your other plasma pistol, because you may potentially need this one. But yeah. So now what I like to do is come over here, kind of stand by this horse statue, and we're going to wait for the wave to come in. So yeah, compared to the other strat where you're sitting back and you're kind of just trying to snipe enemies, this way we're getting a lot more aggressive. We're, taking out these waves much faster. Um, so this is kind of how I've organized the fight. Had a lot of help from PHL with this as well, but yeah, this is sort of what I've now come to or like finalize as sort of my sort of pathing. I don't know. You can potentially, figure something out yourself, but yeah, anyways, we just kind of chill at first. We're kind of just killing the grunts before the brutes. So there is also, yeah, a fuel rod brute. It's not a chieftain though, so we can plasma pistol him once we find out where he's at. Also, any brute shot brutes are scary, but yeah, we want to make sure we kill the chieftain ASAP. So there was still a grunt alive, unfortunately. I didn't see him, so I messed that up. Once you do this fight enough, it's really consistent. It's not that bad. I just died by mistake there. But yeah, you just want to kill all the grunts. So all the grunts should be dead. And then you obviously want to focus the fuel rod guy first if you can. But also brute shot guys are scary as well. So I got the brute shot guys. Let me try to kill this guy over here. Also, your teammates will throw grenades, so, just try to be careful of where they're throwing nades. I like to kind of come down in this street section here because their grenades, they're throwing them at the brutes, right? So they're kind of landing in that area there. They're not actually going to come down towards the street here. As well as we killed a bunch of grunts and they have more plasma pistol for us. So yeah, you clear out this wave and then you want to fill up a plasma pistol if you can. Once you kill the last brute though, most of the time all the bodies deload, so whatever. I don't have a decent plasma pistol, but it's not really a big deal. Then you want to come, after you've killed that wave, you want to come get in your tank, and then there's these phantoms flying in. You want to shoot the turret so you don't get shot that much. Shoot the grunt turret, and then all these jackals are going to drop. You're just going to want to, try to kill as many as you can as they're running here. The jackals are no real threat, but then the hunter comes in. So, with this phantom, we want to shoot the turret again. And then for these hunters, what you want to do is you want to make sure the front of your tank is like fully pushed up against this door. Because most of the time, it's going to cause the hunters not to path directly to me like this one just did. Like that one's kind of stuck. That's usually kind of what they do. I don't know. Like if you're fully pressed up against the door, things usually go better. Plus also see how this guy is trying to shoot me and his shots are like hitting the lip of this. Like, so basically you're kind of like tucked in here and you're just more likely to survive this. If you get very unlucky and like both hunters run at you and they're both have an angle to shoot on you, you could potentially die here. But most of the time they're going to try to actually run to the front of the building here. If they do aggro onto you, you can still, if you're all the way tucked in, you could usually not die in this section here. But yeah, if there's any jackals left, you want to kill them. And then you want to come over here, and I like to make sure that my scorpion is fully pushed up against this middle pillar. If you're even like a millimeter, not fully pushed up against this thing, you can potentially die in this wave. So you want to make sure you're fully pushed up against it, and then you want to shoot the turret of the Phantom, and then shoot the 2 grunt turrets as well. And then all these brutes drop down. The main one that you want to kill is just this hammer chieftain, because he's pretty close to you and he just kind of stands here. And if you're not fully pushed up against this pillar, like I said, you're just a little bit back, this guy's actually going to try to throw a nade at you, and it could kill you. But when you're fully pushed up against the pillar, he's kind of like soft locked. So let me actually try to show this. So I'm going to reverse a little bit. Immediately he throws a nade at me and it kills me. But if you're fully pushed up against this thing, he will never throw a nade at you, which is very convenient that works out for us like that. So yeah, you want to make sure you're pushed up, and then once you kill him, now you can be more aggressive in the tank. You still don't want to get too close to these guys, because yeah, they may start brute shotting you or try to throw nades at you, but you can, come about this range-ish and just start, shooting them. You kill all the ones that you can see that you can shoot. Sometimes other brutes will be kind of off to the sides. If any are like that, you can get out of your tank, use the plasma pistol that you have from earlier, and try to kill the ones that are off to the sides. Because sometimes some of these brutes do kind of just hide and like never really peek out again. But yeah, you kind of just want to kill as many as you can in the tank. So like, yeah, there's like one guy on the far right. So now what you can also do is use your radar to see where any stragglers are left. So it looks like there's just this one guy over here. So I'm just gonna come over here. Just kill him, and then that should be it. Oh, never mind. There's one more brute still alive. That should be it, yeah. So there are my teammates coming in now. So yeah, it's basically how this end fight is done with the tank inbounds. I'm the one that kind of labbed out most of this, with also help of PHL. So maybe there's faster ways to do some of these clears. I'm not really sure right now, but this is how I do it. And yeah, it's much faster than I believe anybody would have thought, even myself when I started running this category. My IL time of this level is sub 19, which is insane. I didn't think it would ever get past really a sub like 25. So yeah, that's how you do this level. These are definitely IL strats. Like, you could potentially try to go for the hog launches in a full game, but you'd have to be psycho because you only get one shot at it. But yeah, those are the strats for the IL.